So, do you want to know how to get your show approved by Netflix? Do you have an idea for a TV show or movie that you want to pitch to Netflix? Are you an aspiring artist, filmmaker, or whatever, and you're thinking of putting your show or movie or whatever kind of work on Netflix, maybe a documentary? Well, guess what? You better meet the diversity quota, otherwise it's most likely to get rejected. Let's go, guys. Let's get into it. Hello, guys. Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that little bell right there so that you can get notifications every time I upload a video. Okay? Enjoy. What is up, guys? This is your boy Andy Matrix. Welcome to Andy Arts TV, where I talk about anime, movies, video games, geek culture, and Japanese culture. Now, I am at CNBC. I actually like CNBC amongst other news outlets, right? I like CNBC. It's not that bad. I mean, I trust it. So I was looking at information as to how is it that Netflix decides how a TV show gets approved. How is it that, like if I had an idea for a movie or a TV show, then what are Netflix requirements for it to get it approved? And I think I have at least, I'm going to say maybe 25-30% of the answer, right? I'm gonna say like I have 30% of the answer. The other 70% is it could be other things, but Here's something that you guys might think about when the next time you hear about a show or a movie that's coming to Netflix. I want you to think about these things. All right, think about, how did this get approved by Netflix? Oh, okay, this is how. All right, so CNBC, as I was looking around as to how Netflix approves TV shows and movies, I found this. It says Netflix will spend $100 million to improve diversity on film following equity study. Right? That means that they want more diversity in their movies and TV shows. And by the way, I'm not sure if you guys know by now, but when they say diversity, what they really mean is less white people, more minorities. Okay, I'm a minority. I'm Latino. More LGBT, more identity politics, more political stuff, more representation. In other words, things that have nothing to do with the story, things that don't really get people hooked on a story. All right. It said Netflix commissioned a diversity study on its movie and TV shows that showed improvement in representation from 2018 to 2019, but gaps still remain. Okay, the company will spend $100 million. We already said that. So Netflix released a first of its kind diversity study Friday to analyze the makeup of Netflix on-screen talent, as well as the behind-the-camera creators, producers, writers, and directors. So it's not just the movies and TV shows, it's also they want their workplace to be very diverse, which is okay. People of all kinds working on a movie, but do they qualify for the job? That's the question, right? So it says the report shows that the company has made progress, but still has more work to do in diversity gaps. The company says it's committing to an inclusion lens to its work, which co-CEO Ted Sarandos says means asking questions like, whose voice is missing? Pay attention. This is how they make their decisions. Whose voice is missing? In other words, who is not being represented? So if you're making a movie, let's say if you're making an epic fantasy movie, that is usually very, Game of Thrones, European type of setting. Usually, epic fantasy will have like a medieval setting in Europe, European style setting, which means there's going to be a whole bunch of like Caucasian people, right? So they'll say, oh, no, we can't have that. There's just not enough inclusion. These people are not being represented. And it kind of undermines the story. And then it says, is this portrayal authentic? who is excluded. Who is excluded? This is what they think. So it's not about story. It's about who's being included, who's being excluded. Because they want people to see themselves in the TV shows. But what they don't understand is that does not make a good story. That does not make a good show. It says the company also announced the creation of Netflix Fund for Creative Equity, which will invest $100 million over the next 5 years in organizations that help underrepresented communities train and find jobs, TV and film. Netflix also committed to releasing an update on this study every 2 years. It says, I think this is the CEO talk. It says, I think it's important that the content reflects the people that are watching it. Saranjos told CNBC. In an interview Friday, I think the way people can connect with content with a great movie or a great series is that they see something of themselves in that. Either that is very relatable, that it might look like them, or it reflects a life experience that they're also experiencing. Okay. I understand what they're trying to say. Like, people want to see themselves in the character, but check this out. You want to know how I know and how you can know that this is bullcrap. In order to enjoy a TV show, the characters do not have to look like you. Take a look at Japanese anime, okay? Take a look at Japanese anime. Okay? It is global, it is worldwide, and guess what? Most anime, the characters are Asian. Most characters are Asian, and occasionally they'll have some diversity in there. Well, they're throwing a Latino or a Brazilian guy like Luffy from One Piece, or an African American like Barrett Wallace from Final Fantasy VII. Sometimes, right? But you do not necessarily have to look like the characters to enjoy the story, to be able to relate to it. Anime is super duper popular, and the reason why people like it is because they tell good stories. They don't focus on whose voice is not being heard, who's being excluded, whose voice is missing, is the portrayal authentic. The only thing that they got right up here is that the portrayal, if the portrayal is being authentic, but it's like they wanna. This is why you have cases like the Cowboy Bebop live action, just ending up like this. Because they think, okay, who's being excluded? Oh, there's no African Americans in this show, right? There's no African Americans in this show, so let's add it. Oh, we're gonna need a feminist. Excuse me. We're gonna need a feminist. Excuse me, guys. Right? Is there an Asian person here? Do we have somebody on a wheelchair? Do we have a person with like a mental disability? Right? That's what they're going for. So they're not focused on story. So when you bring a story to Netflix, and you give them the script, they're like, okay, we gotta change this, right? And that's what happened with the whole He-Man Masters of the Universe crap, right? That's what happened. Because I bet you Kevin Smith in the very beginning, he was like, all right, I'm gonna remake He-Man, and I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna do that. But then when he brought it to Netflix, and they told him, oh, well, you gotta change this. You gotta change He-Man. You gotta make Tila the main character because people want. So they say people want a female lead. There's usually no female lead, so we gotta make a female lead. To make it count. You gotta outcast the males because of the patriarchy or whatever. And that's how we end up with a total mess like the Netflix He-Man and the Netflix Cowboy Bebop that's coming up and is gonna fail, and a whole bunch of other shows. That's how we get here. Because of the decisions, because of what they're pushing for. Okay? This is their leadership. This is what they're going for. This is what they're trying to do. They're investing into this. And then when people unsubscribe, they wonder, oh my God, why is this happening? Were you not paying attention? Right? So if you ever wonder What does it take for a TV show or movie to get approved by Netflix? This is why. What is up, everybody? Thank you for watching the video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel so you can receive new future notifications. Check out the blog at ndrtv.com. Follow me on Twitter. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and leave your thoughts or anything you want to say right below this video in the comments below. This is Andy Matrix. Thank you for watching. Godspeed, everybody. Godspeed.